my name's Jen Polson, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. We are starting a new interview series in our business this year, and I'm really excited. This is our first interview that we're doing with one of my amazing friends, Dr. Mary ODwyer. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her. She has always wanted to be a healer of some kind. And when the conventional route through her veterinary medicine plan did not work out, she found herself studying food chemistry, and she loved it and went on to pursue a Bachelor's of Science and a PhD in the food science field. And she ended up going into holistic and alternative wellness, and it was a surprise for her. She didn't expect that. She is the mother of two beautiful boys, and one of them who has autism. And so she has worked to just help heal and support her son over the years. And through that time, she's visited alternative and holistic wellness professionals, and she had learned so much about that field herself that she decided to become a transformational breath instructor, as well as she's an expert in food and healing the body through food and transformational breath. She's also gone on to do some energy healing training, and she's a Reiki healer. And so you can see Mary is amazingly gifted. She's got lots of talents, and I'm so excited that she's here today to share with us just a little bit about her story and her passion and what transformational breath is and how we can have another tool to help improve our lives. The other thing that I love about Mary is that she is following her heart and following her dream, and I want to hear about that too. So Mary, welcome.
Hi Jen, how are you?
Good, so glad to have you here. So will you just share with us a little bit, just give us a little more detail about how you got so passionate about what you're doing?
Well, I'm not originally from here. I grew up in Ireland, and when I came here, as a college student, my husband laughs, he looks back since we met each other in college. I survived on toast and bread. That was what toast and yogurt, toast and cheese and yogurt. That was what I ate. And then, so even though I learned a lot about food and how to process it, I guess I grew up with a mom who cooked everything from scratch, so there was always good food at home. I was always a salad person, and then I had kids, and I was a working mom with two small kids, so I fell into the habits of, macaroni and cheese, all the things that were on the kids' menus, macaroni and cheese, chicken nuggets, all of that stuff. That's what I fed my kids. And it was easy, it was quick, it was no fuss. And then when my son was diagnosed with autism, we did a lot to help him through conventional stuff. We did therapy through the preschool, we did all of that, we helped him with the speech, blah, 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 we did all of that. I was always helping at school, but when he got to about first or second grade, I could tell that he was starting to struggle. And struggle in such a way that I knew I couldn't continue my full-time job, my husband couldn't have his full-time job, and take care of this child. And so I decided to quit my full-time job and to stay home with Ethan and apply everything I knew about food, because there was something in the back of my head going, from what I was reading, and Jenny McCarthy had come out with her book around that time about her son, and there was something in my head about, this is not going to be the way, he is not going to be one of those kids that can't ever be independent, that can't, do better, and that can't progress and heal himself and find the support he needs in order to get where he needs to go. So I basically started changing how we ate, did gluten, dairy-free diets, added a lot more vegetables, started cooking everything from scratch, paying way more attention to labels, started seeing alternative wellness professions of all sorts, did all sorts of alternative therapies with Ethan, including oxygen therapies, B12 injections, methyl B12, and really discovering the importance of the right nutrient at the right time, how everything there's no such thing as a silver bullet. There is no cure for autism, but there are lots of things that you can do to support it so that Ethan's body and neurological systems aren't adversely affected by what he's eating, and they're not compounding the issues. And to see him now, I mean, he goes to a preparatory school, he's got a great GPA, you know, he's still a bit of the nutty professor type personality, you know, that's just going to be the way he is. But he has made strides. When he started preschool, they told me he would probably never live independently, but he has plans to go to Oxford, and I have no doubt that he will, you know, be able to live on his own. I'm grateful for automatic banking, but so he won't forget to pay his bills. But you know, so that's kind of where my passion came from, just seeing the transformation in him and in the family, and just seeing how much better we felt. And I started moving my body, and that was where it all started.
I love that. How did you go from that transition to like working full time, then staying home full time, and then starting your business? Like that's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, so I was home pretty full time for about 5 years with Ethan, and over those times he steadily progressed. And then, so I'm trying to think, how long ago was that? 4 years ago. So by the time Ethan got to 5th grade, his teacher actually had a special needs daughter as well, and a piece of advice that she gave me was that in 5th grade, I needed to stop micromanaging him so much and letting him fail, so he would, you know, he had to learn to fail and to overcome it. So that was great advice. So I started stepping back a little, and when I started stepping back, it was like, okay, well, now what do I do with my time? And so I still wasn't ready to go back to work. I didn't want to work for anybody else. I wanted to have my free time in the summer with the kids. I wanted to be available in the evening for him when he needed me. I wanted to be able to be there at school when he needed me. So because of my interest in all the food stuff, I took a holistic health coaching course. So that started that, and took my fitness training. So I actually started I feel that food and fitness goes together. So I also became a fitness instructor, and was able just to do that part-time in the mornings. Cool. As I was doing my health coaching. And then things just built on one another. And I just added, you know, I'm a big believer in taking baby steps. And, you know, it's not at all about perfection. It's all about progress. And always just kind of adding sort of when the next window comes, or when the next opportunity comes, knowing when to hold off and say, you know what, I need to finish up this project or complete this before I start taking something else on. So I always kind of just put things in stages, but things just have come my way at the right time, and I've been able to move along and progress from, you know, the fitness to the food to the breath work and the energy work. So it's all just kind of fit and come my way.
One of the things that I love and that I'm really excited about spotlighting in this interview series is that, you know, we don't have to, we can think outside of the box. You can have a bigger perspective on what's possible. I mean, probably 10 years ago, you didn't think that you were going to be in this spot where you are right now. You know, and I loved how you explained that you really just kind of followed your heart. You paid attention to the information that was given you. You paid attention to what your family needed, and you've translated all of that, your education, and then everything that you've, you know, experienced with your son and learning how to support him, into a business that you are an expert at. And I just wanted to let everybody know that, you know, I've gone through, Mary does some programs around cleansing, and I've gone through one of her programs with that. And then recently I got to meet Mary in person. We've known each other for, what, about 3 years, I think. And a couple months ago, I happened to be in California for a training, and we got to meet, and it was so fun. And she did, I got to experience a transformational breath session, and it was really incredible. And I had no idea that the body could hold so much, like, emotion. I mean, in my brain I did, but I guess I didn't realize that I was, you know, had stuck emotions in my physical body. And the transformational breath session was a big eye-opener for me, and it was very powerful experience. And so do you want to just explain a little bit about transformational breath and how that helps just our overall well-being, but also any kind of emotional support that that it will help.
Mm-hmm. So Transformational Breath was founded about 40 years ago by a woman in New Hampshire. Her name is Judith Kravitz. She has an awesome book, Breathe Deeply, Laugh Loudly. And she's the founder, she's the co-founder of Transformational Breath. That came to her through prayer. She was going through a health crisis, and through prayer, she was led to breathe in a specific way, and she was able to heal her body. And once she discovered that, she was like, okay, this stuff is dynamite. I need to share it with the world. So it's using the breath to access our own body's self-healing. And it heals us on a physical level, emotional level, and a spiritual level. So there's 3 levels of the transformational breath. And when you come for a session is about 45 to 60 minutes, and you breathe in a very specific way. We breathe without pauses. We take a long inhale and a very relaxed exhale. So there's no hyperventilating. Some people are concerned, am I going to get hyperventilating because we're breathing a lot? But you're not. You're breathing like a count of 3 on the inhale and a count of 2 on the exhale. So it's like, so there's no forcing. It's very relaxed. And you have a facilitator with you, training you on how to do that. The physical benefits of breathing in that way are that you're using a full diaphragmatic breath. So you're using your full respiratory system, which most of us only use 20 to 30% of our respiratory system. But after you do a few sessions with Transform, our goal is to open up your full respiratory system so that you're using 70 to 80% of that. 90, 100 would be awesome. It's a great way to remove toxins from our body through the exhale. Using that diaphragm, because the diaphragm is a muscle that when you breathe in, it pushes, it's like a tent, so it domes down, and it pushes the abdomen out. And what that does is it massages all of those organs in the abdominal area. The gut, which has all the gut-associated lymph, the largest part of our lymphatic system is the gut-associated lymph. Our spleen, our liver, all of that good stuff, all that gets massaged, and all those toxins get to be moved out. We're breathing, because we're not taking any pauses, we're taking 40 to 50 breaths per minute, as opposed to the 10 to 12 that we normally take. So because of that, our body's getting super oxygenated.
Yeah.
70 or 75% of our energy comes from the oxygen we breathe.
Right.
So can you just imagine how much more energy you have?
I definitely noticed a huge shift in my energy and like the clarity of my mind.
Yep.
Just was, and I was going into kind of a not stressful, but I was a little anxious about the training that I was going into. But what I noticed is that I just felt really confident going in, and it just really, I definitely felt physical improvements and emotional.
Yeah, because the next level is the emotional level, the emotional and mental. Because when we're breathing like that with no pauses, we're actually generating, just like any circuit, because there's no pauses. So the air is coming in, it's coming out, coming in, coming in. So that generates an electrical field.
Okay. And
so what that does is it raises our vibration. So when our vibration is raised, the laws of physics dictate that if there's something in the high vibration meeting something of a low vibration, or in the presence of something of a low vibration, that lower vibration has to entrain to that higher frequency.
Yes.
So the body stores our negative emotions, the depression, the resentment, the angers, the fears, the nervousness, all of that stuff gets stored in our body. A lot of it gets stored in our hips. That's why women, I think, tend to put weight on our hips, because maybe we store more than men do in that area. And so because our body gets into this higher vibration, those emotions have to try and raise in vibration. So if you can imagine like the ocean with an iceberg, and imagine like the stuff that's under the water that we don't even see is coming to the surface. So that's like the emotions coming to the surface, so they get released from our body. That comes out as, it may come out as energy. We might feel tingling. We might feel the emotion. We might have a memory. We might, feel some sadness, some fear. And as long as we keep breathing through it and breathing into it, we allow that feeling to be released from the body. And once it's released, it's gone for good.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that.
Awesome. And also when we're in that vibrational state where we're releasing those emotions, because of the high vibration we're in, it's actually a time where our subconscious is very open, it's very accessible.
Mm-hmm.
So as a facilitator, I'm also saying a lot of affirmations because I can see in the breathing pattern, I don't have time to go into everything in this interview, but we also look at people's breathing patterns, and in a breathing pattern, I can kind of tell how a person, maybe where they're shut down or where they need to release, because I'm looking for spots in their body that have tightness. And so I can use affirmations to help release those emotions, but also to reprogram the subconscious so that you build a different belief system. So it's not just, it's like going to talk therapy. We can talk about things and release them in a certain way, and we can cry things out and release them a certain way. But then the power of transformational breath is that we can use these affirmations when we're in that vulnerable, accessible state to reprogram how we think about things, which is really, really cool. And then the third level of transformational breath, which is my favorite, is, that because we're in such a high vibration, after, 30 or 40 minutes of this type of breathing, I mean, your body is in a high vibration, which means it's much, the higher realms are much more accessible to us. Angelic realms, where all the cool spirituality is, and, being able to just feel in contact, higher contact with, God, whoever that is for you. For me, it's Jesus and our Lord. For other people, it might be something different, but you have it's so easy to connect with that and to connect with yourself, with your own soul, your own higher purpose, and to have come out of there with clarity, with a new sense of purpose if you need that, or clarity maybe on some stuff, or, just a new perspective on life. And it just heals on all of those levels. And that's what I love about, as much as I love my food and my fitness, those things are awesome and they're fantastic, but you can eat all the kale in the world and you can do all the exercise in the world, but if you can't change your stinking thinking, that comes first. I mean, in my opinion, that's because if you can change your thinking, then it's just going to be so much easier to choose the kale and the spinach and the exercise and all that stuff. It's not going to be, it's just going to be easier. You're going to open all those doors for yourself. You just want that stuff. You want all the good stuff.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because I have a lot of people wonder, like a lot of clients ask me, how does energy work relate to God, and the way, and to healing, and the way you just described that is when we get emotional blocks out of the way and fears out of the way and all that old junk out of the way, it just opens up that ability to connect spiritually so much easier. And I loved how you described that. And I think that's probably one of the best things that I love about, any energy transformation work, is that it opens up our ability to be more spiritually connected.
Yeah, because, when we release all that stuff, what is it, and, that the world hates a vacuum, when stuff is released, it has to be filled with something else. And, I believe that when we're breathing the Holy Spirit. Right. And when you're breathing in the Holy Spirit, especially 40, 50 breaths a minute, you're breathing in a whole heck of a lot of Holy Spirit, and it just fills you with joy and goodness and all the good, juicy stuff, all the stuff that we want. Yeah, it's been amazing. I just love it. I could talk forever.
I love how excited you are when someone is in their zone, when you can just tell Mary is living her purpose. You can tell by the way she gets so excited about talking about what she does, and I love that. And do you want to, we're going to close here. I think, in how many more minutes do we have?
Like a couple more minutes, yeah.
Okay. So if you were to just give our audience, 3 basic tips on, just whatever your best 3 tips, wisdom tips are, and helping us just to live healthier, happier, more successful lives, what would that be?
Okay, so the first step is always going to be breathe deeper. It's the one, we can go days without food, a long time without food. We can go a few days without water. We can go about 2 minutes without oxygen. So this is the most important thing. So start with the foundation. Take bigger breaths. If you can spend 10 minutes in the morning before you get up, taking 10 connected breaths, just in and out with no pauses. Don't worry about anything else, just in and out and no pauses. If you can't do that, maybe every hour, take 10 deep breaths. Just feel your lungs fill up. Put your hand on your belly and feel your belly push out so you're moving that abdomen. Take, just take more deep breaths.
Okay.
10 minutes, we say 100 breaths of joy every day. So do 10 every hour for 10 hours, or just do 10 minutes in the morning. Listen to your favorite song and do it.
Okay.
That's the first tip. The second tip is I'm a believer in eating vegetables first thing in the morning. I know the mornings that I get up and I have a beautiful croissant, whatever I love, and my treat. All I'm doing all day is craving bread and chocolate and all of that stuff. Start your day with vegetables. It stops those cravings. It just reduces them like you have no idea. Vegetables are such an important part of our diet, so get them in the morning. Replace the bread and the carbs with some vegetables. Throw in some fruit. Have a piece of toast as well if you want, if you're not ready to give that up. But add some vegetables to it. Add it to your omelet. Add it to your smoothie. Add it to your, however you're going to get it in. Get it in. So that'd be tip number 2. And then third tip is just move your body. Go do something. It doesn't have to be a formal exercise class. Go, take the stairs at work. You've heard all this before. Park far away from at the other end of the grocery store. Oh, this is a great one. Go into the grocery store without a cart. Take a shopping basket and only buy what you can carry, and then carry those groceries out to the car. That'll cut down on the amount of junk food you buy. Just, really quick, you're going to be going around and you won't be buying the big containers of food because I need to, there's only so many things I can fit in my basket. So you're working, you're carrying that weight and then you're hauling it to the far end of the parking lot. So that's
great one. I've never heard that one before.
Yes, so that's my great. Every now and then, Thanksgiving, you have to take the trolley. I get it. There's turkeys. Only so much I can fit in my basket, but by and large, for your shops, go twice a week and carry your groceries. Sometimes I'll even bring in my big grocery sack. Instead of using their basket, I'll fill my big grocery sack.
Okay.
Groceries. If I have more than fits in the basket, but I don't want to use the cart, I'll just take my big and then empty out my grocery sack. And no one's ever thought I was a thief in the store, so don't worry about that.
Awesome. So, Mary, if someone is interested in finding out more about what you do, I know you need to be in your area to do the Transformational Breath with you, but you have lots of other really cool eating programs and detox programs. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Yeah, the best way is probably to call me. My number is 951-375-6425. You can also check me out on my website. My website is going to be, I'm changing a couple of things, upgrading some programs, so not everything on my website is completely current, so expect that to change. But you can get some information on there, Dr. Mary O's Health and Fitness.
Okay.
.com, and you can also email me at drmarysfitness@gmail.com. That's DRMARYOSFITNESS@gmail.com.
Cool. And we'll put that on the recording at the end. We'll have a slide of that at the end.
Perfect.
The magic of technology.
Yes, I have a lot of awesome eating programs. I have a new 4-week program coming out. I have a lot of 2-week programs to go with the seasons. And I also do distance Reiki for anybody who needs Reiki healing, and they're not in this area. I actually love to do distance Reiki. I don't know, it's almost one of my favorite ways to do it. I don't know why, but I actually really enjoy that part of it. So.
Oh. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. You are, I love you, and I'm really excited that we got to kick off this new program, this new interview series with you. So
yes, it's very exciting. Yes, it was wonderful to be here.
And everybody who gets to see this, if you have any questions, Mary is an expert, and I know that she will take really good care of you if you are ready to make some changes in your health and your wellness and your just overall well-being.
Yes, and if anybody references having seen me here with you, Jen, just mention that, and I will give you 10% off of your cost.
Oh, awesome. Great gift. All right. Yes. Excellent. Well, thank you, and thanks everybody for being here with us, and we look forward to our next interview coming soon.
All right. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. Bye.